What is up, everybody? It has been a while since I put anything on YouTube. Definitely been probably a few months, probably since May, since I went live. So figured I would just hop on, kick it for a bit. If you got any questions, we'll chop it up, answer any questions you got, talk about some Q4 planning. We can talk about what's going on in my business. Yeah, kind of just gonna hang out for a bit. Let me know if you got any questions. Let me get some music going. Been getting spin back up this last couple weeks. We had a pretty big drop last month in sales, so working kind of double time to get that up. We all know that revenue, profit, it all starts with spend. So if you're not, spending your money on inventory, then you're not going to make profit. So what we're doing to make up for the decline last month is spending more this month. And hopefully you can hear that music. Let me know if you can hear that music, hear me all right. Some people in here. What's up? We got a couple people here. Go ahead and drop a message in the chat. Let me know you're here. Drop any questions you have. Everyone take advantage of back to school season. I don't do, what's up, John? I don't do a ton of seasonal items, but I do have a few like replens that I know are going to be really hot because of the school season. So take advantage of those every year. Sent in probably 350 units of one product that I know is going to perform really well. And I'll probably keep sending in more for the rest of this week. But besides that, I don't do a ton of seasonal stuff, but let me know if you took advantage of back to school, supplies, backpacks, lunch boxes, all that good stuff. John, let me know. Can you hear the music? I'm vibing right now, but I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't think it's going through. Cannot hear music. All right. Let me see if I can fix that. It's pretty lame music, not gonna lie. It's just a Pretzel. It's a free music player that like won't get your videos demonetized or taken down or anything. Mic is clear. Awesome. What are you working on this week, John? What are your goals for your business? For me, I'm trying to spend, $5,000 to $10,000 a day. I was doing 5 a day, 25 a week really is what I go for because I look at a weekly average. Some days will be less, some will be more, but I want to be hitting 25 a week. But I'm trying to get more like 5 to 10 because I'm just trying to make up. Last week we had a pretty bad month, so I'm trying to get some growth this month to be able to hit that. Last week I averaged like 8 or 9. I spent close to 50 last week, so it was a really good week. This week I'm averaging probably around 6,500 so far. What up, Ruben? Long time no talk. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see if I can figure out this. Music. Well, that shares. Let me know if you can hear that now. I don't really want to have to screen share, especially for this lame music, but let me know if you can hear it just so I can do some testing. Let's see. Trying to keep up with sourcing. That's the name of the game. Anthony, what's up? Tandy says Q4 paid source groups, yes or no? I actually am going to be making a video about Q4 groups and one that I'm endorsing. But here's what I'm going to say about Q4 groups and really groups in general. Do not go into them for the leads and the bolos because they're going to get tanked into oblivion. What do you think is going to happen when 500 people are looking at a product? Okay, what you're going to get out of these, the really good value is going to be the workshops, the training, the networking, the live coaching, the teaching you how to find the products, not giving you the products. It's, teaching someone how to fish as opposed to just giving them a fish. And in this case, if they were to give you the fish, it would go rotten. Just stay away from the 500 plus groups that are exposing leads. And some of these, they're not even that great of leads. 500 people are going to see it and it sells 10 times a month. That, obviously you should stay away from that, but people are paying for it. And it's just the same thing with leads lists. It's why I cap mine at 10, 15. Moving forward, we're probably only going to do capped at 10. The more people that see it lead, the faster it's going to tank. Those are my thoughts. How much of your spending is on replens? Cool, you can hear that. Now I just need to figure out how to play it without having to screen share and get some better music. How much of your spending is on replens? That is a good question. I'm going to say 20, 25, maybe 30%. We're spending a lot, probably 20 to 25%. We're spending a lot more on new ASINs than we are on replenishing. We need to get better about it, but it probably won't get much higher than that. I think when we're running at a really good efficiency, that's going to be 35% or so. The reason is we just always want to be adding new products to the catalog, and some things are hard to replenish because they just go on sale. So this week there's sales going on, and this week 60% of my spend is going to be on replens, but for the next 3 weeks those items aren't on sale, and I'm going to have to be adding more products to my catalog. So it's just always adding new products to the catalog, but definitely also keeping an eye on items that you can replenish as well. Anthony says, I was in groups of 10 to 20 people and all the listings still tanked. Exactly. So even at those lower caps, they can still tank. So what do you think is going to happen with hundreds of people? Yeah. And then the other thing is taking these leads that you're getting from a leads list, a bolo group, whatever it is, and not just looking at them and buying them. You need to be looking at them and saying, what else can I do? Let's say you find they provide you with a lead it's a Nerf gun, or it's buy 2 and get 1 free, so it's a really good solid lead. And you could just buy that and go on with your day, or you could say, oh, Target's having a buy 2 1 get 1 free sale, buy 2 get 1 free sale. Now I'm going to go look and find my own leads that aren't exposed to the other people in this list, but because of the list, I know the sale is going on. So just using the list to find other opportunities. And then also be the person that goes back to the list, right? So 2-3 months down the line, everyone on the list has forgotten about that lead, but you need to be the person that's going back and replenishing, going back and seeing, is this lead still profitable? Because by then, if the price tanked, it's probably a recovery a couple months later. Do you feel a shift in the category the most? Beauty apparel. Lately, probably the last 6 weeks or so, I have had a pretty big shift, more into apparel and shoes. So I used to not sell shoes at all because of the return rate, but whenever I was able to start sending to a tax-free state, it just started to make sense. The profit and ROI and margin is just really good. So I'm doing a lot of shoes and apparel now. Definitely still a lot of beauty, but I would say shoes and apparel is my top category. I also do a lot of home and kitchen stuff. So yeah, those are my top categories. Tandy says, what is your favorite sourcing method? I'm going to say storefront stocking, the classic. I like to use Celery. So I'm looking at a couple different ways to start this off, but generally what I'm liking to do is starting from a product that I know is performing really well, going to data, buy box statistics, and see who has some high buy box share in there. Because if they're selling that product well and they're getting good buy box share on it, then they're probably doing well with other products as well. So I'm going to start off by going to that, finding those storefronts that are performing well, and then running that through SellerAmp to speed up the reverse sourcing. I have a video on that if you're not sure how to do that process. Just search my SellerAmp tutorial or my storefront stocking tutorial. Those will both help out a lot, but that's definitely my favorite. Ruben says, good to know I'm basically spending 95% of capital on new products. Yeah, that's a lot. I would say try to increase that or decrease that a bit and start spending more on replens. But I think, really you're always going to be spending more on new than you are on replens. It's just how it works. Listings are good and then they get tanked, and then Amazon could shut it down, or there's so many different variables that can happen, which is why it's so important to constantly be adding new products to the catalog. John said you should change your name to FBA Prodigy. Thank you. I don't know about that. Just spent 2.5 years growing this business and learned a few things along the way. Oh, let's see. I can make the screen smaller. Okay, let me know if you can still hear the music, because I think it's just me now, but I'm still technically screen sharing. So let me know if you can still hear that music. I think I might have figured it out. Let me see if I can find some better music as well. No music, what? Lame. How about now? I don't really like that though. Oh, you still can? How about now? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can still hear it. Give it a minute for the chat to catch up, so I know I'm looking at the right comment. Tandy says, with reverse sourcing, a worry that I'm missing good leads that go out of stock quickly. Is that something you also think about? Do you mean out of stock quickly at Amazon or at the source? Like, are you saying it runs out of stock on Amazon so you wouldn't see it when you're storefront stocking? Or do you mean you're storefront stocking and then you find a product that's out of stock at the source? Let me know. Thumbs up from John and Ruben. Perfect. Figured out how to share the music. I shared my favorite sourcing strategy. Go ahead and drop in the chat. What is your favorite sourcing strategy? I'm a big storefront stocking guy, but I always love to see how other people are spending their time finding products. Seller runs out of stock, so I miss it completely. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's not something that I've really thought about or worry about. But yeah, you could be missing out on opportunities there, potentially. I'm sure there's a way to look at out of stock opportunities like that based on the seller, but I don't know of it. My recommendation would be to look into something and keep a product finder, because they have an out of stock filter method. Could be something there. I've never really dove down this rabbit hole, or I'm not an expert on it, obviously, because I can barely say this, but I would recommend looking into keep a product finder, because they have an out of stock filter. It's definitely a possibility though. But also, if you find a good storefront, bookmark it. Keep the link shaved in a spreadsheet somewhere, and then you can continually go back once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever it is. And then maybe this time when you check it, they're out of stock, so you missed that opportunity. But when you check it again 2 weeks later, they're back in stock, so you see it. So it's just, if you're consistently looking at the storefronts, then you're more likely to see those out of stock opportunities. Ruben says, I recently had more success sourcing store sales on the brands I know I can sell. It's definitely a good strat as well. My team is doing a lot of storefront stocking and then doing this sourcing store sales on brands that we know that we can sell. Those are our two top strategies. John says, what is your approach to hiring your first VA? What system do you use to pay them? It's going to be a daunting task at first, but really it's just like all things that seem like they're going to be daunting. You really just got to do them. What I do is I go to onlinejobs.ph, I throw up a job posting, I say, hey, we're looking for a product researcher. I'm assuming that's what you're hiring for, but fill in the blank. We're looking for a product researcher, we're looking for X, whatever it is. You should be detail oriented, you should know how to use a computer, you should know how to use Keepa, all like the basic job requirements. You should list those out. And then towards the talk about benefits and pay as well. Like we offer flexible schedules, we offer some paid time off opportunities, and then we put the pay in the post as well. And then also put somewhere some kind of like question for them to respond to. What we do is, what is your favorite food? Put this at the very top of your response. If you use onlinejobs.ph, you're literally going to get hundreds of applications within a few days. So it's really important to do something to distinguish the people who aren't actually paying attention, that aren't detail oriented, from the people who are just, like mass applying. So anyone who doesn't put their favorite food at the top, we're immediately just deleting the application. If they're not, being detail oriented when they're supposed to be their best selves when they're applying for a job, then they're probably not going to be detail oriented when they're actually on the job. That's why it's so important to us to have a step like that. So that's what we do for hiring. And then anyone who looks decent, we send them a sample test with some Keepa charts. Here's an Amazon link, go find a source page. Here's a source page, go find an Amazon link. And just some, simple job tests like that shouldn't take them more than 5-10 minutes, maybe 15, because you don't want to waste their time if they're not going to get a job. You're just trying to judge their abilities. And then anyone who does well on that, we schedule an interview with, and we just ask them some basic job interview questions, really trying to get a judge of character. Then from there, we send them an offer letter. We do a 30-day probation period with slightly less pay. And then if they're meeting expectations after 30 days, we offer them a full-time position at the standard pay. And then as far as payment, we pay on the 15th and 30th every month, half the salary every time. And we do Wise or PayPal are our two payment options. Definitely get started on hiring VAs. It was a huge game changer in my business. Just this year, it's 5x my business since the start of this year. When I started hiring VAs, it's incredible. And I really highly recommend the Philippines, because one, the dollar goes a lot farther over there. So the wages are going to be smaller in terms of US dollars. And two, just the people there are really dedicated, hardworking people. They're really going to be committed to helping you grow your business. They're really trustworthy. It's great people over there. Literally, you'll get hundreds of applications within the first couple of days. Whereas here in America, I've been trying to hire warehouse people for 4 months, and we've barely gotten any applications, any good qualified people. But over in the Philippines, I throw up a job posting and I get literally hundreds of applications in the first few days. The culture difference is crazy, and the dedication that the people there have to work and be able to provide for their families, earn a living, and then also they really consider the well-being of your business, and they're just dedicated workers. Really recommend it. Dropping golden nuggets. Yes, sir. Anyone in the chat have a team of VAs being built? Have you hired any VAs yet? We're always hiring more. We've been hiring, I think we've hired 4 more in these last few weeks. Total between some deals that I got with other people, my own team, video editors, product researchers, account manager, everything. I think we have 11 or 12 VAs now. Something like that. It's like some elevator music. What else can I help you guys with? Keep the questions coming. We starting to get ready for Q4. It's still almost a little over 6 weeks away, but it's going to be here before we know it. I was just thinking today about like how my buying is going to change as we head into Q4. And a lot of people think like toys do really well in Q4, and that's true, they do. But everything does really well in Q4. We pretty much will do like a 50% to even doubling our buying in Q4 just because of the paradigm shift. Something that's, these are just like made up numbers. For example, let's say something's ranked 10K right now, and I could sell it 10 times a month. In Q4, something ranked 10K, I could probably sell 15 to 20 times a month just because of that increase in volume in Q4. So we're just like getting ahead and trying to think ahead for our buying patterns and how it's going to shift. John says, is it difficult to balance having your own prep center and selling on Amazon? We can talk about that a bit, actually. I have an update regarding the prep center. But I'll go ahead and answer this question, and then I can talk a little bit about my prep center situation. So I would say no, it's not super difficult if you have like warehouse workers doing the prep for you still, because it's just like sending your stuff elsewhere, except it's just I'm working here and out there that they're doing the prep part. So no, it's not super hard to manage if you have the infrastructure, the employees, the team to help you run it. But I'll go ahead and give a quick update on my prep center. Unfortunately, we had to shut down due to staffing issues. Like I was just saying, we've been hiring for 4 months and we've barely been able to get anyone to work. So unfortunately, we had to shut down. We're still in operation for the next couple of weeks, but I'm shifting all my stuff towards going to another prep center as well. Wish we could have kept going. It was a good business, had some really great clients that I was able to work with. Learned a lot throughout the experience, but at the end of the day, got to do what's best for business. And we really just didn't have many other choices with having such a hard time getting people to work here. Can I lower the music? Maybe. Let me see. I probably can, but I don't know how. I'm a streaming noob. Let's see here. Any ideas on how to turn this down? Oh, I found it. I think. Let me do this share again. And back. Okay, let me know if you can give me a thumbs up if you can hear it and if it's not too loud anymore. I think I figured out how to turn it down. Tandy says, I sell toys all the way up to 300K during Q4. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a paradigm shift, during Q4. Toys, every category. It's just like you might expect that to sell once, twice a month right now, but in Q4 it could sell a lot more. Eco Flips, yeah, I think I took care of that. Let me know if I need to adjust it anymore. Do you plan to spend more all the way through December, even with the late check-in times? That is a good question. I don't really remember what I did last year, to be honest, but I think we'll generally start to slow down early December just because, just in case the check-in times. Although one point, though, is January can still have like really increased spending. Can't hear music now. I'll look at it again in a minute. January can have increased spending as well. So sometimes we kind of ride that wave through because of gift cards. Everyone's getting gift cards for Christmas, and then they're going to be spending those through early January. So even if the check-in times are low, some of that increased demand could still be there. But it's kind of like, do you want to risk it? Is your stuff going to be checked in by then? So do you want to be spending in like double orders, or do you want to be more conservative and send in what your standard amount is? We'll see. Hit me up when we're closer, and I'll tell you what I'm planning on doing. Bummer. Yep, it's a bummer, but hey, it is what it is. Able to take away a lot of lessons and build a lot of really good relationships through it. Okay. Music. I will get this stuff figured out soon. Screen, Chrome tab, boom. How about now? I think we're set on the music now. Let me know. Awesome. Thumbs up from John. Appreciate it. Yeah, Cisco. My hair's coming back. It's been 2 months since I pretty much went bald. I got like a buzz cut all the way down, but it's growing back. What about you, Cisco? Long hair, don't care. My hair looks really long in the thumbnail for this video. I probably need to make some new ones. I have a guy that makes my thumbnails, and all the photos that I sent him were when I had really long hair. So, really outdated. A lot of cool settings here. Why? I like this shirt. It's my favorite shirt. Why would I wear anything besides my favorite shirt every day? Answer that question for me, Cisco. Why do you wear something that's not your favorite? But on a real note, I do have to update this shirt soon. It's at 27%. I turned 21 this Sunday, so I gotta go up to 28%. Cisco is a savage. OA Alpha merch. You know, I technically do have some OA Alpha merch. It's just not for sale. I made a couple shirts, one for me and one for somebody else who really wanted one, but I'm not selling them. But it's like the OA Alpha. It says OA Alphas, and then it's like a wolf, and then it's pretty dope. Change shirt once a year. Yes, sir. It's actually, I think it's like every 8 months that I'm supposed to update it, because the average life expectancy, I believe, is 79. So it works out to be like every 8 months. Cisco is savage. Don't boost his ego. Okay, Cisco. Don't get locked down to one thing. I'll have to contemplate that. You're giving me some good thoughts. Cisco, you're a funny guy. I'm recording a few YouTube videos today. Are there any topics that you want to see videos on? Let me know any video suggestions. I'd really appreciate it. Any new categories in terms of like product category type, like clothing or beauty, things like that? Not really. Yeah, we're not really targeting any specific new kind of category. Just whatever we find, if the data looks good, we'll sell it. How do you vet a site that you've never sourced from before? That's a really good question. I should probably make a video about that. So what we're doing is let's say the site was called StreamYard, because that's what I'm using. Let's say we're sourcing products from a place called StreamYard. We're just going to Google and we're searching, is StreamYard legit? And then we're looking at things like Trustpilot. What are the other ones? Just Trustpilot, and there's a couple others that'll pretty much always come up. We're looking at the trust score. We're looking at the reviews for that site, and then one thing that's a green flag in my opinion is if they accept PayPal. If they don't accept PayPal, that tells me that they might be like a sketchy site. And I like to use PayPal on new sites anyway, because that's like another added level of protection. So we're just really doing a search and then looking for if they take PayPal. Repricing strategies. Everyone tells me to match buy box, but I've never got rotation unless I penny drop. But I don't want to be a tanker. Okay, so it can depend on what you're selling. I used to do like some like lower velocity clothing, and I had that issue where I had to penny drop and I had to kind of be a price tanker in order to get that sale. And sometimes it's just what you got to do in order to get the sale. But generally, we're sitting in inventory above the buy box and then repricing based on what the buy box is and targeting an equal rotation among all competitive sellers to avoid price tanking. If you are going to do penny below, make sure that you have a good min. And then I like to recommend the oscillation strategy. So we're going to, if you have to do penny down because it's the lower velocity listing and you're not getting sales, you've looked at it, you're not getting sales, you have to penny down. And then whenever you reach your floor, you want to make sure that it's going to come back up to restart that oscillation. That way you're not just tanking into oblivion. It's tanking into a point where it's still profitable for everybody, but to help you get that sale, then it's going to come back up. Another thing, if you're doing a penny below, and this is something that you should probably be doing if you have the capability anyway, is raise your prices at night. If everyone's dropping their prices at night, it's just going to keep going down. But at nighttime, not a lot of sales are happening, so there's not really a reason to be competing for a sale that's not happening. So overnight, when there's not many sales taking place, you can start to raise your price to help again with the oscillation so that it's not just continually tanking. What is up, TZ? Can you teach me how to open an Amazon account? Yeah, I can help you. Serious note, can you break down 2 not as popular sourcing methods, the pros and cons, and why you might want to source that way every once in a while? I will add that to my list of videos to make. Let me know if you have ideas on what those not popular methods are. I think like keep a product finder isn't talked about a ton. You can do that. On my list. What websites do you buy discounted gift cards other than Raisin Rakuten? That's it for me. I've only ever bought discounted gift cards from Raise, and I don't really use them a ton. I really only use them if it's borderline being profitable and I need to go find some other kind of discount to make it profitable, and I can't do that with a discount code. I'm probably sleeping on some profits, but it makes it simpler. And also sometimes you can have a hard time getting refunds. Like if you order something from a supplier with a gift card and then it ends up becoming damaged or they never send it, sometimes they'll make it a little bit difficult to get that gift card, get that refund. Almost had some products from a few sites that had a ton of really good Trustpilot reviews, but they turned out to be scammers. That's a bummer. Yeah, the reviews aren't always accurate. It's just one thing that we can do to try and make sure that we're buying from reputable websites. And, if you're really unsure about a site, do a small test order just to see what happens. Use a credit card for sure. If you can't use PayPal, at least use a credit card. That way, if you end up getting scammed, the credit card has your back. I'm a big Amex fan. I like Capital One as well, but I'm definitely Team Amex. Dude, I will not. I'm sorry, but I will not make a video about TA. I don't think I'm qualified to make a video about TA. I know like the very basics, and I just don't have good luck with it. I find much better results doing manual sourcing. So there's good TA videos out there. I don't think I'm the guy to make another one. Scan on Rixseek. Ooh. You'll have to get on a call and show me how you do that. I haven't done Brickseek in a long time. I used to do it for OA a little bit, but I was primarily doing it for RA and finding those discounts. Amex Plum, F the Plum. I don't know which one I feel more strongly about, to be honest. I think I'm going to go with Amex Plum Heart. They limited a lot of people, a month ago, maybe a little more. and that sucks, and that's probably why Cisco's saying I have to pull him. But I think it's a really good card. The 60-day payment terms, and even if it's a limit, if you can use that on, like, I like to use it on my wholesale purchases where I have to buy in bulk. I like to have that peace of mind and knowing that I have 60 days to repay the card as opposed to the typical 30. So Plum is a really good card. I recommend getting it, but just know that they might limit you at some point. They were raising my limits up, and then all of a sudden they capped me off of 40 grand, which is a lot better than some people got stuck with, but they still did limit me. Thankfully, though, I had 2 other cards with Amex, and those are both still unlimited. And if you're not familiar with what that means, when I say I have an unlimited credit card, what that means is there's no hard cap. So they'll start you off, I think they started my limit at like 13 grand, and then I repaid that. And then after a few months, I could spend 100. And then now I have access to like $250,000 plus with them. So it just, what I mean when there's no limit is that it keeps growing over time. The more you spend, the more you pay back, the higher they'll allow you to spend. And I am hashtag Team Amex all the way. Capital One's really good too, though. Do you offer ungating methods for certain hard brands to leads list clients? I don't. We're generally not giving those brands on leads anyway. If you're thinking of one in particular, message me and I might be able to help. Yeah, we're generally not giving the super hard ones. And I'm probably going to keep the super hard ones close to the vest just because they're really good products. And if everyone started getting ungated in them, then they wouldn't be for very long. Yeah, I can make a video about Prep Center starting it. I was thinking about that yesterday. That is a good idea. Thank you. How do you calculate how many units to buy for spending 10K next week? Or all those orders just test orders of a few units? No, I go very wide. So what if I was going to spend 10K in testing? It would be like 100 plus different ASINs, probably. Maybe not that many, but a lot of different ASINs, and then just a few units of each. For my test orders, I'm typically doing like 3, 5, maybe 6 units, generally 3 to 5 for that first order. And then after that, I'll go up to about 10, and then from there 18, and then from there I'm looking at my data. How fast did those 18 sell? If they all sold out in one day, I might place an order for 100. If those 18 took a week to sell, I might only get another 20, maybe 25 units. So what I'm doing is small incremental test orders and then looking at my data. We can look at Keepa all day long, but the best data is going to be your data. How does the ASIN actually perform for you? Biggest loss I've taken on an iDog. I don't know. I can run an inventory lab report though and tell you. I'll check on that in just a minute. How long did it take you to do 15, 20K a month? Let's see. Gotta think back. I want to say about a year. A lot of people are able to flex that they like grew really fast right off the gate, but I think it honestly took me about a year to get up to 15, 20K a month. Yeah, if it wasn't a year, it was pretty close to a year before I was able to do 15 to 20K a month. And then that was after 1 year, and then a year after that, I was doing 100K a month. So my business is just steadily growing, you know. It's just staying consistent and your business will grow. My biggest loss was on a private label attempt. Yeah, I don't know a lot about private label, but from what I've heard, it can be like risky. If you don't do really good product and market research beforehand, then you could risk losing a lot of money. Do I ever plan on funding other sellers for a profit? I don't know. Cisco, are you looking for an investment? DM me and we'll talk. Yeah, I don't know what my biggest biggest loss was, but I definitely remember like different situations where I just bought too much inventory and then something went wrong and then I had to liquidate, you know. 5th full month and on track for 10K. Awesome. That's awesome. That's really good, steady growth. Congrats. Just keep spending, keep growing, keep reinvesting. It sucks, but one thing that's really going to help you is not paying yourself a lot. Paying yourself like the minimum possible. That way you can reinvest as much as possible. An investor is what I'm looking for. Bro, you got to chill. You're out of pocket. I say I am the pocket Cisco. I don't even know what that means. Did anyone sell pools this summer? I looked at a few Keep It charts, but nothing looked super interesting. That just popped in my head. Let me know if you sold any pools this summer because I'm curious if they were still profitable. Advice on transitioning from OA to wholesale. I can talk about this a little bit, but it's definitely not my expertise because I haven't been able to successfully do this myself yet. My business is probably 5% wholesale at this point. It was more like closer to 10, but one of our suppliers is having an issue. So 5% or so, definitely transitioning more. I'm going to ASD here in a few weeks. I hired a wholesale product researcher VA to work on opening accounts, going through catalogs. So hoping to, by the end of the year, have close to 20% or so of my business be wholesale instead of OA. But my advice is contacting a lot of distributors. Don't contact any until you have a list of 100. And then of those 100, expect maybe one to be good. Wholesale is a numbers game from my experience so far, and it's just about getting through the nose as fast as possible. You know, it's just like doing product research, storefront stocking, going through website sales, whatever it is. It's going through the products as fast as you can so that you can find those few that are actually really good. And yeah, it's really similar. Just it's a grind. As far as finding distributors, that's going to be the hardest thing. One thing that I've liked to do is reach out to brands, and if there's a good bigger brand that I know I can't open an account with, I'll just ask them, hey, can I have a list of your distributors? And then I'll go and try and open accounts with them. I do not compete with Amazon. We're only competing with Amazon if I see evidence of them sharing the buy box, or if I can really undercut them by a lot and still be profitable. But those two things are pretty rare, one of those being the case. So I'm really not competing with Amazon. If Amazon comes back on a listing and he's selling, on how long do you wait to liquidate? It depends on like how much I have in stock and stuff, but I'm generally holding that for about 30 days before I'm really liquidating. We get pretty aggressive with our inventory at 30 days, regardless of if it's Amazon or it's just not selling, and just trying to liquidate and recoup some kind of funds. Definitely wholesale, yeah, and that's why I like to use my plum for wholesale purchases, because we're generally gonna have to take longer to sell through the entire purchase. Yep. Man, I just love when Walmart delivers orders after hours. Anyone else have that problem? The signs specifically say like don't deliver here after hours, and then they just show up late at night. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to build wholesale because I think it's more sustainable long term, and also just having like better, more consistent access to products is going to be really good, and allowing us to increase our spend consistently. And I think long term will be shifting into more wholesale over the next year or so, but definitely not abandoning OA. There's really good product opportunities here in OA, so why would I abandon it? Okay. Yeah, do you get stuff delivered to your house after hours though? It's annoying, right? I guess it doesn't matter if you're there, but at a warehouse it's annoying because then you got to drive to the warehouse to get it. Yeah, 8 p.m. It's annoying. 7:16 and I got a text that an order was on the way. Do not like it. 9 p.m. That's late. They should stick to business hours. There's actually a way I need to do this. I'm sending my stuff to a new place right now, and I just haven't done it yet. But if you call them, you can request, like they put a note on your account that they don't do deliveries after so late at night, and it helps, but it definitely doesn't solve the problem completely. I need to do that for this new warehouse I'm sending to. After Q4, what holidays, etc., do you prep for next? So a lot of people will take advantage of seasonal opportunities. I really don't do that. I look for products that are just consistently selling really well, and I try not to speculate too much on what's going to come. There are a few exceptions. Like this year, I sent in 350 units or so of a back to school item, but it's because I know last year I sold 300, and this year I'm seeing the same trends happening. I'm not speculating, or I am speculating a bit, but I'm not just saying, okay, it's back to school, I'm going to look for back to school items. I'm looking at my own data and seeing that I did sell this product, and I know that that's happening again this year. And I sent in like 50, and they all sold within a day or two, so I know that I'm good to send in 300 plus. And I'm not saying that that's a bad business model to speculate and look for those seasonal opportunities. A lot of people are really successful with it. I just like to be more conservative in my business. That's how I choose to run my business. It doesn't mean that it's the right way or the best way. I'm definitely missing out on profit opportunities, but I like to be more conservative. Some Amazon delivers at 10. That's ridiculous. Anthony, what do you use to track data? Inventory Lab is good, but as far as my velocity, what I do is I'm just looking in Seller Central. If you're wanting to know your data for an ASIN, you just go to Manage Inventory, you put that ASIN in, and then you click on the SKU, and it'll show you your sales history in terms of volume and sales price for that specific ASIN. Cisco, thank you. Appreciate that compliment. Logan Heike, one of the most trustworthy people in this community space. Do you plan on starting a Q4 group? Thanks, Ruben and Cisco. Probably not. I mean, I will be eventually starting a group of some sort, just like a higher end, like mentoring, coaching, bringing in experts to train, but it's not in my radar anytime soon. And no, I'm not going to start like a Q4 specific group. I do, however, have one that I'm going to be promoting because I really believe in the group and what they're doing. It's really a workshop. It's not like they're not giving any kinds of leads or bolos at all. They're working with leadless providers to, if you want to buy the leads in addition, and I think it's going to be capped at smaller groups, then you can do that, but they're not providing anything. It's literally like twice a week they're holding workshop sessions and bringing in experts to teach you stuff so that you're not just getting leads. You're learning how to actually get the leads. You're learning how to create listings, create variations. You're learning how to get capital. You're learning all these things twice a week for 4 months, all throughout Q4, and just teaching you all different aspects of the business. And I'm going to be making a video on it. I'm really pumped for it. It's a group that I've been in for, I don't know, year or so, maybe a little more, and they're starting a Q4 specific workshop, and I'm really pumped for it, and I'm happy to be promoting it. I'm actually going to be one of the guest speakers as well, so if you want to come learn from me, definitely attend. Working on setting growth, so haven't done the seasonal thing yet. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy to use. You can start taking those riskier seasonal play bets once you have a good established business. Once you have more money to risk. I was actually on Amazon Lid's live stream last night. He was talking about wholesale, private label, what like the differences, which one you should focus on. And he was saying start off with wholesale, and then once you have built up a good wholesale business and you have some money that you can risk and you can risk losing, then maybe go out and venture to private label. But build up a good steady business first before you start taking those riskier plays. Ideal superpower is definitely super speed. I don't know if any of you have seen the show The Flash, but being able to, travel through time, throw lightning, super speed. I would definitely want to have super speed. What about you, Cisco? You strike me as a super strength kind of guy. Green Lantern's abilities, that'd be pretty cool. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop the link here to that group I was just talking about. bit.ly/LA Insider. You guys can check it out. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about it a bit. I'm going to make a video about this, but I'll do like a quick screen share. Okay. So yeah, it starts in 22 days, and like they're not giving leads or anything, but they're doing weekly contests, an exclusive Discord for communication. And then here's what I'm excited about. They have all these subjects that each week, twice a week, they're just going to be going over things. Business health, Keepa, TA, Cisco, you're a big TA guy. Talking about hiring, VAs, sourcing methods, FBM, creating listings, which is going to be really cool. Selling on Walmart, I think that's going to be cool. Some pricing strategies, replens, book selling, Airtable. Cody, one of the mods for this group, he's really big on Airtable, and like there's just a lot of, I don't know much about it, but from what I've heard, there's a lot of like really cool automations that you can build with Airtable. Time management, automation, account health, private label, wholesale, additional income streams, and then check out all these really awesome speakers. Just tons of really knowledgeable people are going to be speaking throughout the month. It's $500 to join, or if you sign up for the early bird, otherwise it's $600. I'm really excited for it. No, I will not be giving you my best ace in Cisco. Nice try. All right, music should be back. We're going to go for about 5 more minutes or so. So if you got any questions, drop that in the chat. Questions or anything, drop it. It's interesting. Echo Flip says, do you know anyone who does Amazon drop shipping from wholesale suppliers on Amazon successfully? I do not. All I know is a lot of people who do retail drop shipping and then get banned. Yeah, I don't know anyone who does wholesale drop shipping. Anyone tell me chlorine? Not me. Definitely scanned a few when I was in a store, but nothing looked that great. I think Amazon was on all the listings. And my Walmart order was delivered. Perfect. Hey, Shayla, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be doing more lives and stuff. I'm busy the next few weeks, but I'll be getting back to lives at the end of the month. Thank you for stopping by. Pool Essential. Did you sell it? I gotta text this prep center I'm working with. Let them know that Walmart doesn't know how to follow instructions. Cisco, you the greatest. Cisco the GOAT. 2 more minutes. Any final questions? Anything I can do to help you? $80 ROI, but hard to find. That's probably why it was $80 ROI. Did you do FBEM on that? All right, we are going to go ahead and wrap things up. Like I said, I've been, filming some more videos. Been working on that, I should say. I've got 4 or 5 ideas here that I'm going to film, and then they should start being released next week. And then I'm really busy traveling these next few weeks, but at the end of the month, going into September and into Q4, we're going to be live streaming more often. I'm going to be doing these Q&A sessions, and then we're also going to get back to bringing in guests and being able to interview them and let you guys do some Q&A. So as always, I really appreciate you all stopping by and hope to see you on the next one. Peace out. Have a good night.